Hey guys, we recently had the producer live letter 51, and I've decided to go over the info that was released and my thoughts on it. So without further ado, let's dive into it.
Final Fantasy XIV's third expansion will be released July 2nd, 2019. It introduces a whole new world, the first, where players must fight to restore darkness to the realm. It features content equivalent to an all-new single-player RPG. We're receiving 6 massive new areas, which is the same number that we had in Stormblood. We have a new city, the Crysarium. We also had a new city in Stormblood. 2 new jobs, the Gunbreaker and Dancer. We also had 2 jobs in Stormblood. New level cap going from 70 to 80, and various gameplay adjustments and battle system changes. New playable races, Hrothgar and Vera. So we're getting 2 new races. I wasn't planning on changing from my all-raw, but the Vera looked very nicely done. On the other hand, being able to customize the Hrothgar fur was very cool at first, but went out the window quickly when I saw the hairstyles were locked to the face. That's very disappointing. New NPC assist system, the Trusts. We still don't know much about it. There's going to be more information coming in the next live letter. New beast tribes, the new Moo and Pixies. That is the same number we got in Stormblood. New powerful foes, Titania and Innocence. We also got 2 in launch from Stormblood. The world visit system. It's interesting that the world visit system gets a bullet for the expansion, seeing as it's already live. Does that mean there's more to come? End of 32-bit OS support, and support for 64-bit Mac. New rewards other than XP will be added. Additional requirements must be met to unlock certain rewards. Unique tokens will be implemented that can be exchanged for these rewards at specialty shops. It's nice to see the fate system getting an update. It's always nice to hit a fate while you're leveling, but even then with how much XP we need to the next level, they just don't give enough XP to make fate trains even worth it anymore. It almost felt like a waste of dev time to even make them. But this seems more like forcing people to do fates if these tokens are the only way to obtain these items. Even more so if the tokens are unique to each zone. If that's the case, we're looking at 6 different tokens. Side quests in new regions will be level synced. All 5.0 side quests can be undertaken at level 70. Enemies will be scaled to player level when accepting side quests. It's intended to facilitate leveling of multiple jobs. This will be nice since, like they said, once you're max level, doing the quest seems like such a waste of XP, so there won't be an excuse not to use them to help level another job. 4 sets of role quests will be added. Retrace the journeys of the first fallen heroes. The sets are Physical DPS, Magical DPS, Tank, and Healer. 1 quest line must be completed to advance the main scenario. New jobs will have quests from level 60 to 70, and all jobs will have a new quest available at level 80. As someone who levels each job for the story quests, this system is disappointing. It makes sense though if our trainers aren't on the first. I'm hoping that not needing stories for each class will allow dev time to be diverted elsewhere, like new content. 5 sets of new quests will be added. Stories centered on the Crysarium and a collective of artisans. For Disciples of the Hand, the facets of forging, crafting, and nourishment. For Disciples of the Land, the facets of gathering and fishing. Hone your skills as you progress through the story of the Crystalline Mean. Learn more about the world and the lore of the first. This seems like the same idea as the Disciple of War, Disciple of Magic quests. The first edition of a new theme, the Light Skin. It's a nice idea, but honestly, I don't see myself ever using the new skin. Needing to relog each time I change it seems like a hassle to me. Honestly, it looks harder to read to me. P.S. Why doesn't Yoshi-P have a grand company? All UI elements to be expanded. Crossworld link shells to be expanded to 8 channels. Target information to be updated. As a raider, this is a welcome change. I can't remember how many times I've wiped to an encounter under 1%, so it will be nice that everyone can see how close to a clear you really are. Party list information to be updated, and housing furniture placement preview to be added. I'm looking forward to the furnishing preview as well. It's such a pain to see the icon and like how it looks, only to find it doesn't actually look that way after it's crafted. This is a welcome addition. Charged action system. New actions designed for more versatile usage. Actions will gain charges for later use. Charges will build until reaching a maximum limit. Actions will gain an additional charge as the recast timer cycles. Charges may be consumed to use an action whenever you want. I think this is an interesting idea. I'm interested to see how it'll affect the combat of raids and trials. I'm also curious to see if you'll have full charges upon a wipe, or if you'll have to wait. It will also be interesting to see how players handle their charges between using things like gap closers strategically to not lose uptime on a boss, or burning all their charges quickly during a trick attack window. Interrupt enemy actions to turn the tide of battle. PvE's silence status effect will be incorporated into this new system. Actions that can be interrupted will be more easily discernible. Tanks and ranged DPS will receive role actions for this purpose. This is already a thing in the game, but the fact that they're bringing this to a live letter makes it seem like this might be incorporated into more fight designs. Tanks and ranged usually are the ones assigned to interrupt casts already, so I guess this makes it officially a tank and ranged job assignment. It's nice that it'll show it was interrupted though, instead of the cast just disappearing. As part of the general action review, role actions will be revised to set abilities. New role actions will be automatically obtained upon reaching the required level. The number of available actions will be adjusted. So tanks have the most role actions at 7, followed by healers, melee, and physical ranged at 6, and casters only have 4. That's quite a broad gap. MP will be capped and TP will be eliminated. An upper limit on MP will be set at 10,000 MP. The piety attribute will be adjusted in accordance with this change. TP will be removed and affected actions will be revised so that they may be used more freely.
I like the idea of not needing to watch TP usage, but having MP capped is a bit worrisome since it's really easy to blow through MP right now, especially when it's new content. So my guess is that piety may affect how fast MP refreshes?
The difficulty in gearing up will be adjusted for each role. The attributes for all accessories will be revised. Main attribute increasing materia will no longer be meldable. Main attribute increasing materia melded to existing equipment will be revised to have no beneficial effects. Main attribute increasing materia will no longer be obtainable. Weekly token gear as well as savage accessories and belts will now have 2 materia slots. So this is their answer to tank pentamelded accessories. It was kind of ridiculous that crafted accessories were that much better than savage ones. Once we see what the stat weights are going to be, we'll see if this is better in the long run. They're removing main attribute materia too. That's good news considering the only main stats that were used were Vit and Strength. This might mean it'll be harder for the world first to clear their first week, since we can't meld Vit to cheese HP. Is tenacity gonna turn into a thing now? Pet management and usage will be revised. Pets will no longer be affected by enemy attacks or PC actions. Pet actions will be removed from the pet hotbar. Pet actions will be recategorized as player actions. Actions for pets designed to function as tanks, Titan e.g. Topaz Carbuncle, will be revised. Finally, pets can't die. I like this change. It was always a hassle having to waste a swift cast to resummon my pet. I also like the idea of pet actions being a player action. It sounds like I'll have more control over my pet, which is what you would think you'd have all along. Existing pet actions. Each summoned pet has unique actions. Pet actions from 5.0 and beyond. Shared actions designed for use with multiple pets. This will be nice for summoners to help with hotbar bloat. With this and the addition of Phoenix, Summoner's looking like a really cool looking job to play for Shadowbringers. Various other changes will be made to improve overall usability. Battle system calculations will be adjusted and changed. Chain bonuses will be removed from dungeons in order to standardize XP gain. The damage limit will be increased from 999,999 to 9,999,999. I don't like the sound of removing XP chain bonuses, but the way it was translated in the live letter, it's still there, just now in the base XP from the monsters? The party bonus will be adjusted to account for the number of players filling a given role. The rate at which the limit gauge fills will be adjusted for 5.0 and later regions only. The HP of a barrier shielding a party member will be displayed in the party list. Party bonus is being adjusted. Does that mean there's going to be more VIT if there's 2 tanks versus less with only 1? If that's the case, with the limit break fill rate adjustments, will that also affect how fast it fills for duplicate jobs? In order to address rigid party composition and the perception that certain jobs are essential, the effectiveness of synergies between certain jobs will be reduced. Debuffs reducing slashing, blunt, and piercing resistances will be removed. Action values will be revised. Certain actions will be removed. The synergy of the new dancer job will be emphasized. I think there will always be an optimal party composition for each raid, but it's nice to see them make an effort to make encounters accessible to players who don't want to play a certain job to get a static or make progression. Except the way they show Dancer, it looks like it's going to have a permanent slot in the party composition, so they're really sending mixed messages. Adjustments will be made to account for the main and off-tank roles. All 4 tank jobs, including Gunbreaker, will be viable as main tank and off-tank. Tanks will possess defensive buffs that can be applied to all party members. Additional buffs designed for off-tanks to support main tanks will be added. Tanks can also use buffs to enhance their defenses for a limited time. Job effectiveness will vary depending on player skill. I like the intent from them to try to make each tank viable, but much like how Warrior was the undisputed best tank for dungeons, I don't think their efforts will stop people from having an overall best tank for each type of duty. Offensive stances will be removed. Players will instead toggle tank stances on or off. Tank stances will be adjusted. Damage dealt and receive reductions, max HP increase effects will be removed. Only immunity generation will be increased. All attacks will increase immunity. Adjustments will be made to emphasize the reduced damage received aspect of tanks. I really liked having a DPS stance, and this feels like yet another way to make tanks do less damage. Immunity generating combos will be removed. Skill rotations will not change when alternating between main tank and off tank. The tank mastery trait will be added. All damage received will be reduced by 20%. Bonus to maximum HP and damage dealt based on certain attributes will be granted. As a tank since launch, this combined with the changes of stances make me feel like they're forcing us to maintain a pure defensive playstyle, instead of allowing us to swap defensive for offensive capabilities when warranted. I like the idea of removing the immunity combos because it was wasted space, but I'm a bit worried about the removal of crit bonus with Deliverance, again feeling like less DPS for tanks. Healers will be thoroughly rebalanced to emphasize a pure healing role. Protect will be removed. New actions will be added to address gaps in each healer's repertoire. White Mage will receive an instant heal to mitigate the cast times of other abilities. Scholar pet actions will be revised, while direct heals and barrier magics will be adjusted. Astrologian stances and card effects will be adjusted. I'm glad Protect is being removed. Protect was always an annoying spell that when it wasn't taking up instance time to cast, it was doing hardly noticeable mitigation, not to mention the annoyance of reapplying it after someone died. I like the idea of more instant spells for White Mage, but to be honest, I'm so used to having to time spells and move that it doesn't really bother me, but I can see where it makes White Mage less appealing with so much limited movement. As far as Scholar's concerned, I like that the shields will be more visible now.
Design concepts will be more traditional and mechanics will be revised accordingly. Monk, Dragoon, Ninja, Samurai, Black Mage, Red Mage. The playstyle of these jobs will remain relatively unchanged. There will not be significant changes or additions to mechanics. Bard, Machinist, Summoner. Machinist is currently undergoing significant changes. Bard and Summoner mechanics will be partially reworked. I'm not sure what they mean by traditional, but it seems like DPS as a whole will have a lighter emphasis on utility, giving players more focus to do more damage on their own. I feel like doing things like giving Samurai extra techniques, Ninjas the ability to have a shadow copy fighting with you, and Summoners the concept of rotating pets mid-fight will make us feel like we're playing those jobs more immersively, rather than just playing a melee or a caster. What do you guys think of the new info? What changes are you looking forward to or dreading? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching and see you next time.